Welcome to the Reinvent Your Life podcast, the show that talks about why we do what we do and how we can do it better.
Welcome to the Reinvent Your Life podcast. My name is Chaz Molesky, and today we're going to talk about purpose. Everything about purpose. And purpose is such a hot topic, especially in the personal development industry. Everybody wants to know, what is my purpose? How do I find my purpose? Well, we're going to break that down today, and we're going to talk about the specifics of purpose, but more importantly, how it interacts with you and your life, and why you have to start redefining what purpose actually means. See, it's misconstrued in the world about what purpose is. We're always on this eternal quest, it seems, to find our purpose, as though it's some buried treasure along the way that we have to search tirelessly to encounter and find. But in the reality of things, purpose isn't something that you actually find. It's not something that you'll stumble upon one day and you're walking along the road and you lift up a rock or something like that, and then right under it you see purpose. It doesn't work like that. And I think some of us wish it worked like that, right? We wake up in our days and we're like, today I'm gonna find my purpose today, or I'm gonna find, it's out there. I know it's out there. I'm gonna find my purpose. Or what we'll do is we'll start trying things that maybe we think might be fulfilling to us to give us some semblance of purpose, but then we're left at the end just like, is this it? Is this really all that there is? So the first thing that we have to talk about, and the first thing that you have to take to heart here, is that purpose is not something that you just find. You cannot stumble upon purpose. Sure, you may be in a position where you feel purposeful and that you have some semblance of fulfillment in what you're doing. But most likely, what you did to get to that point was a bunch of steps that got you to where you wanted to be because you were aligned with what you truly enjoyed being a part of, or how you felt like you were giving back to the world or contributing. It's not just like one day all of a sudden you felt purposeful. It doesn't work like that. See, instead of finding purpose, you have to focus on creating purpose. It's different. You cannot just find purpose. You have to create your purpose. Because if you don't create purpose, there really is no purpose for you to anchor yourself to. Every day you'll just be looking for it. You'll be searching out there, what is my purpose? But if you were to wake up every day and say, how do I want to serve today? How do I want to show up today? What do I want to accomplish today? If today were my last day on earth, what would I want to make sure that I did? Or how I contributed? Or how I showed up? See, asking these questions are going to be A, more purposeful in their own right, but B, on top of that, it's going to give you a direction. It's going to make you feel a sense of purpose in the actions that you're taking. See, if you want to have purpose, let's say in your job, you have to be purposeful, okay? You can't just show up one day and then feel filled with purpose. It doesn't work. You are going to have to put yourself in a position to be purposeful so that you can see that your actions have meaning. Because at the end of the day, we're all looking for meaning. So if you are putting yourself in a position to be purposeful, you may start to find that you're creating purpose in each and every interaction that you have, and thus you have purpose. So it's like stacking on top of each other, right? It's like compound investment. The more that you put into it, the more it's going to grow and grow and grow over time until there's a sitting bank of purpose that you can dip into whenever you feel a little low or you feel like you need to recash those supplies. So when you're looking to establish your purpose, you cannot look for external things to be your barometer of success of finding or creating purpose. You can't look and say, oh, my spouse is happy all of the time, so I have purpose. I found my purpose. My job on this earth, my purpose is to make my spouse happy. Well, that's going to be very fleeting because you cannot control someone else's emotions. So does that mean every single time that they're not happy, you have no purpose in life? That's just setting yourself up for failure every single time. You cannot go about things this way. So you can't base your purpose on other people or externals. Sure, your purpose can benefit those people, and that's what your purpose should do, the purpose that you create. But you can't say that my purpose on this life is to serve everybody else so that everyone is happy, or my purpose on earth is to make other people a whole bunch of money. Well, if they're not making a whole bunch of money, what's your purpose? Right? You can't do that because it's going to be a constant setup for failure. Instead, you have to establish My purpose of the day, my purpose of the month, my purpose of the year, whatever these individual purposes are, you have to establish those as how they give you fulfillment and how you contribute to the world, regardless of the outcome of other people. So if your purpose is to be, let's say, a leader, okay, in maybe it's your job, maybe it's in your family, maybe it's anywhere, right, in a sport. If you are a leader and you show up every day as a leader and you continue to lead, well, then you're fulfilling your purpose. And you're creating new purpose every single day. How can I lead these people better today? How can I grow in my leadership? How will my leadership impact people? So you ask yourself these questions, you create more purpose because you create a foundation of that purpose to work from. It's not just this ambiguous floating find your purpose during the day. You're creating it step by step by step. And so if we're using that example, if you're going to be a better leader, and you're creating this purpose, and your purpose is to be a good leader, well, even if the people around you are failing, even if the people around you aren't doing well, it does not show as you as a bad leader. What it shows is that your purpose of a leader is to step up in these times, to fulfill that purpose of being a leader, and to stand in the middle of the storm, to stand when they are stuck emotionally, when they are stuck in this position of not feeling worthy of anything. You are the leader, so you step up. You say, no, I get it. You're having a rough one. We're going to get through it, and this is how. See, that's purpose, okay? You cannot base your purpose on other people's happiness or fulfillment. Your purpose has to be on your own mission, your own drive. And as a result of you getting better at that, it's going to expand into your neighboring communities. It's going to expand into the people that you interact with. And even in a leadership role, you are going to develop even more as a leader, and people are going to respect you more as a leader because they see that you are fulfilling your purpose. Do you see how this makes sense? Purpose is not something that you're going to stumble upon. Doesn't work. What you have to do is you have to be intentional about the purpose that you set out for. And a word of warning to those of you that are stuck in a purpose that is maybe no longer serving you. If you had purpose at, let's say, 25, right, the age of 25, whatever that purpose was, if you're 35 now, most likely that purpose isn't going to be relevant. We care about different things. We prioritize different things at different age groups. So if you're still fulfilling purpose or a sense of purpose that you had when you were younger, now that you're older, but your life circumstances are different, your life situation is different, maybe your finances are different, your relationships are different, your friendships are different, everything in your life is different, maybe it's time for your purpose to evolve. Maybe you have to grow into a new purpose. Maybe the reason you feel like you have no purpose is because you're living by an outdated frame of reference that says you have to be a certain way. When in reality, you have to grow into this new sense of who I am and why I'm here. And if you haven't done that yet, you're always going to feel like you're lost. You're always going to feel like you're behind the 8 ball because you're living in an outdated purpose. So take a little moment here and do a quick mental audit. Am I creating purpose every day? Am I taking purpose-driven action every day? Am I developing my purpose muscle, if you will? Or am I just letting life happen and I'm hoping purpose knocks on my door one day? I'm hoping one day at work I'm going to stumble upon my purpose. As I'm sitting in my cubicle miserable, my purpose is going to show up in an email. How are you approaching purpose? Are you even approaching it at all? Because if you're not even approaching it, or if you're not even contemplating what it could be, how are you ever supposed to fulfill upon that? It's impossible. So start being intentional with the purpose that you want your life to take. Start being intentional with creating purposeful action, with creating purposeful mindsets. You have to create this aura of purpose, which includes your mindset, your actions, your thoughts, the things that you say. All of these things include your purpose and they strengthen your purpose as well. It's not going to be something that you can just piece together here and there. You're going to eventually live this, but you have to build it. And you have to build it in unison with all of the other pieces. And that is the only way to have a true rock solid foundation of purpose. So if you're in a place right now where you feel like you do not have a purpose, your first step is to ask yourself, how do I want to be purposeful today. Purposeful means serving a purpose. Sometimes your purpose can just be transactional. Sometimes your purpose can be in the moment. I have purpose to do X, Y, Z. This one thing today. If I get this stuff today, I fulfilled my purpose today. And guess what? If you do that multiple days in a row, a full month of purpose-driven action, do you realize how fulfilled and purposeful you will feel? Because every day you're getting a win. Every single day, you're showing yourself that you can do it and that you can live a purposeful life. But if you only feel like this every so often, if you only feel like this once every 3, 4, 5 months, some of you don't even feel like it ever, and you never have this sense of what purpose could feel like, there's going to be no driving motivation to continue going for it or to build it up even more. Or you'll look externally to find different purpose because you have no sense of yourself being purposeful. This is something just like a muscle. It has to be trained, it has to be exercised, it has to be worked out, and it has to be repetitively engaged with for it to grow, for it to become stronger in you, and for you to know how you are in that moment. So for those of you that are struggling with purpose, ask yourself, how can I be purposeful today? How can I be purposeful tomorrow? And what purpose do I want my life to serve? And from there, you can start creating a plan. You can start taking purposeful action. But if you never get to that point, you'll always feel like you're grasping at the air to try to find some random sense of purpose in this crazy, insane world. So if this was helpful to you, please, please, please do me a favor. Share it with those that you know could also benefit from this. If you have people in your life that are struggling to find any sense of purpose, this is the podcast for them to listen to. So please share. Sharing is caring. And as always, if you have not yet, please, please, please like, follow, subscribe, download, do all of the fun things with this podcast. It helps me reach a bigger audience. It helps me create a bigger impact. And that, at the end of the day, is my purpose, my driving mission. All right? So, for those of you that are listening, please take what you learned, apply it to your life, integrate it with who you are, and reinvent your life.
Thanks for listening to the Reinvent Your Life podcast. Now go out and apply what you just heard to start your reinvention. Please subscribe, rate, and share this podcast with those that need it most.